The FBI arrests in the federal insider trading investigation have turned attention to the role of expert network firms. These are companies that will, for a fee, connect investors with researchers who are experts on industries or, say, companies. In theory, anyway. Prosecutors are alleging some expert network firms also either provided or became the conduit for inside information. Joining us now, Sanford Bragg, President and CEO of Integrity Research. His company connects investors with expert network firms. Sandy, so just to be clear, you aren't an expert network yourself. You just connect investors with those kinds of firms.
That's right, Eric. What we do is we track research firms, including expert networks. We've been doing it for the last 7 years, and our clients are institutional investors who want to find non-traditional, non-consensus sources of research.
Okay, there's been a big demand for non-traditional, non-consensus sources of research. I have to ask you this question, though. You had to know, given the kinds of clients we're talking about, hedge firms who can make or lose potentially millions of dollars on the basis of what they know, because they often have leverage bets. You had to know there was potential for abuse, no?
No, there's always been a potential for abuse. When you put individual investors, and professional investors in touch with individual experts, there's always a risk of material non-public information being passed. So that's been a concern all along.
Right. Now, a risk why? Because of the hunger on the part of the institutional investors, or the, I guess, naivete, let's say, of the people on the other side who don't know what they're being asked to do?
Well, you're always going to have some bad apples that press the line or step over the line, and that's what we're seeing in these current investigations.
Do you think this industry is going to survive?
The expert network industry?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it will. There's definitely, if it fills the need. Keep in mind that their clients are much broader than just hedge funds or institutional investors. They also work with lawyers, management consultants, corporations, individuals. So they have a broader base than just institutional investors.
How surprised have you been at the revelations during this investigation?
I think it's been surprising, certainly as a regard to the activities that employees of primary global research have been accused of doing, because they were very aggressive based on the allegations in terms of promoting inside information. Okay,
so you were just saying that you think the industry is going to survive. How much of an impact thus far are you seeing? You're in a great position to see, or to gauge the impact that the investigation is having on the business. Are you seeing a serious drop in demand for this kind of research?
Well, clients are going to pull back right now because they're going to look at their own compliance processes. They're going to look at the compliance processes of the firms they're using. So right now there is going to be a pullback.
Can you talk about it in percentage terms, strictly on the basis of what you guys do? But it's, anecdotally, I think, very relevant.
Sure. Well, we've talked to expert networks, and they said that their usage is down 5 to 10% at the moment.
That's all?
Yeah, but keep in mind they've got a broader client base than just hedge funds, right?
Right. No question. Can you guess, and I think at this point it would have to be a guess, how prevalent this kind of abuse might be in the expert networking industry?
Well, I think obviously the investigators are casting a very broad net, and we'll find out just how extensive it is. Our belief, and we've been tracking expert networks for over 7 years, the majority of usage is legitimate. People are trying to understand before they buy a stock. They want to talk to customers. They want to talk to clients. They want to talk to former employees, and that's what you or I would want to do if we had the time and resources.
Where ultimately does the responsibility rest? Does the responsibility rest with the people who have inside information, or does it rest with the people buying what is supposed to be legitimate research?
I think there's responsibility on all sides, right? There's responsibility. The experts themselves, before they join a network, have to sign agreements saying they're not going to pass it along, they're not going to violate confidential. There's obviously responsibilities on the part of the expert networks, and it appears that some employees at one of the expert networks have violated that. And there's, of course, responsibility on the part of investors to ensure that they don't cross the line and they stay on the right side of the line.
Sandy, thanks for joining us.